What is up, my neighbors? Welcome to the Evergreen Local Tri-Cities Edition, your go-to source for what's happening in Benton and Franklin counties. From major headlines to local heroes and community updates, we got it all covered. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive into this week's top stories. So first off, what has been happening around this last week around the Tri-Cities? Well, as always, so much. Two of my favorite resources to use are the Tri-City Herald and then just, of course, looking at local news, seeing what's going on Facebook, X, Instagram, and just following all of our local agencies. So I just absolutely love doing this. I love bringing you all the things that happened around the Tri Cities in the last week because I get to learn what the heck is going on around me, and so do you. So it's fantastic. So first and foremost, let's start with our three top stories. We got three of them this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time of day you're listening to this. And these are all things that happen between. So if you're listening to this on the 17th, 18th, that will be covered in 1 week. I like to do these weekly and get a weekly roundup. So in case you're wondering. So first and foremost, Richland school bar substitute teacher over alleged Nazi salute. Yes, you heard that right. A substitute teacher was removed after allegedly making Nazi salutes in a high school class. Yes, you heard that here right. That's where we're at. So these statements are all from the Richland School District and reports from credible news sources around the area. The Richland School District has removed a substitute teacher from its roster after reports of behavior inconsistent with district policies. While the district has not disclosed specific details, community members allege that this substitute made Nazi salute during a college prep class at Richland High. The district conducted an investigation, interviewing multiple students and Richland Police Department was not involved in the investigation. So that's a little bit next. So the district is now reviewing its policies. Parents are demanding more transparency. It just raises concerns about educator conduct and student safety. Of course, why would they notify you or tell you about this? Because, House Bill 1256, would enable schools not to give you parental access, because, they're tired of hearing about it. So that is a not good thing. So this is not good, but I'm glad that they're removed from the roster. Educators are expected to uphold professional standards and create a safe space, inclusive environment for students. Behaviors that contradict these principles, such as gestures associated with hate groups, are unacceptable and warrant immediate action to protect student well-being. Tri-City Tow Company owner faces federal firearm charges. So the owner of Classic Towing in Pasco, a convicted felon, was caught with a loaded firearm. This, of course, raises questions about the business ethics and regulatory oversight. And the legal implications of this are felons in possession of firearms face serious federal charges. So in summary here, Socorro Jesse Lopez Spindola, 59, owner of Classic Towing and Recovery in Pasco, Washington, has been arrested on federal charges of being a felon in possession of a firearm. This follows state charges including robbery, extortion, and making death threats related to an October 2024 incident. During a November 2024 search of his business, authorities discovered a loaded 22 caliber revolver in his desk. Lopez Spindola has prior convictions, including unlawful reentry after deportation in 2013. He was arraigned on March 13, 2025 in federal court in Richland, Washington, and is currently in custody. Let's see here. Mid-Columbia Science Fair showcases young innovators. Over the weekend, there was a students from 14 Central Washington counties showcase STEM projects at Wazoo Tri-Cities. Of course, we love seeing these as the fair took place March 13th of this year. Really cool to see all the amazing projects. This year's featured 162 individual projects and 8 project in a box presentations from middle school classrooms. Students presented a diverse array of research topics, including water filtration methods and autism detection through art AI. The event provided an opportunity for these young scientists to discuss their work and professionals in various STEM fields. So this is really cool. This is the first time in decades that this was hosted at Wazoo Tri-Cities, which offered a new venue. There was a public opportunity to view the projects from 2 to 5 p.m. on the day of the fair. An award ceremony was scheduled for the 15th at 1 p.m. at Chief Joseph Middle School. So really cool stuff here. Really, really cool. You love to see it. You just love to see this stuff. You love young innovation. You love our kids getting involved, creating these projects, doing research, and just so much cool stuff. I would love to learn more personally about the project of autism and AI since I work in that field, behavioral health. So this is it's really interesting to hear these things. So let's jump into some controversy because there's two controversial things that are taking up my personal news cycle this week. Homicide charges. Prosecutors have dismissed controlled substance homicide charge against 22-year-old Jaden Ramirez, who was accused of supplying drugs leading to the death of 18-year-old Sylvester Lilves Muldrow in Pasco, Washington. The decision came after Deputy Prosecutor Joseph Barhoul indicated that further investigation was necessary. So this is an interesting one. This highlights challenges in persecuting fentanyl-related death. There's so much that's not covered when it comes to fentanyl and opiates in our state law for deaths and things like that, even when it comes to children. So there needs to be a lot more things going on here. There needs to be a lot more clarification. The broader impact of this is the ongoing concerns over drug overdoses and law enforcement challenges. And of course, common case takeaway, this case illustrates the difficulty in assigning legal responsibility in overdose incidents, emphasizing the need for thorough investigations to ensure that charges are based on solid evidence. And then, of course, our next one is a Hanford site subcontractor fined $1.1 million for COVID-19 relief fraud. So what happened? A local contractor misused PPP loan funds. Why does this matter? Misallocated funds hurt businesses that truly needed assistance. One bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. You don't love that. And yeah, just really, really sad here to see, the misuse in our local community. But it happened all over the country, so our area isn't, outside of that. So the B&L Technical Services, a former subcontractor at Hanford nuclear site, and its owner Wilson Perishing Stevenson III have been ordered to pay over $1.1 million in settlements for defrauding the federal government through the COVID-19 relief programs in 2020. They received almost $500,000 Paycheck Protection Program loan intended to maintain payroll for employees during the pandemic. However, these employees were already being paid by the Department of Energy and other federal sources within 48 hours of receiving the loan. B&L misused $453,000 of the $493,000 to pay off personal and family debts. The company has since been dissolved, and Stevenson agreed to a civil settlement of $611,000. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. You don't think about this stuff going on right in front of you, but it happens. Let's see. The case highlights the importance of oversight in federal relief programs. Misappropriation of funds not only violates legal and ethical standards, but also deprives deserving businesses of necessary support during challenging times. Ensuring accountability is crucial to maintain public trust and effective use of taxpayer dollars. So, good on them for using the funds, catching this in the accountability there. That's what's most important. Let's jump into a local hero spotlight. Now, there's only one story here that we got going on. This is a case solved after 54 years using DNA evidence. I'm sure you may have heard about this one if you're into any kind of true crime or anything like that. So I'm just going to give you the summary, of course, of this because this is just a really cool case here. So advancements in DNA technology enabled the Franklin County Sheriff's Office to solve the 1971 murder of 60-year-old Iva McDonald in Pasco. Detectives have confirmed that Sam Pito Evans, who died in prison in 2016 while serving time for another murder, was responsible for McDonald's death. Has had a lengthy criminal history, including convictions for robbery, rape, and murder. At the time of McDonald's murder, Evans was one of 14 suspects interviewed, but there was insufficient evidence to charge him until recent DNA testing linked him to the crime scene. So this is great. We love when these feel-good stories happen. A family gets justice for their loved one, and a family can rest a little bit easier knowing that their loved one's killer is also dead as well, and they got some kind of closure on this. So just great work over here by the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Some good news as well. There's some really cool things happening just building wise around the Tri-City. So one of my favorite is, I think I mentioned this on last week's, but the Hub 2 that's going to be going in front of Giesa Stadium. Just imagining the warm summer nights, being able to go and walk around the food trucks hour or two before the game, go and enjoy some whatever is there, then just walk down through the parking lot, burn it off a little bit, walk down to the game, catch a game, the Dust Devils, and just enjoy a warm summer evening at Giesa Stadium. That's just one of my favorites. But also, Kennewick is expanding the Three Rivers Convention Center. So what's happening? A $71.3 million expansion project is set to boost tourism and local business. It expected to draw 200,000 more visitors annually, benefiting hotels and restaurants. Construction does begin soon, creating jobs and economic growth, which is fantastic. Let me see if I can find a little bit more on this. Here we go. So how did this all come together? Because it's really interesting. The funding source for this, the project leverages a sales tax initiative recently approved for the construction of Seattle, which was approved back then for Seattle's Safefield Field, demonstrating a creative funding strategy. The expansion will add 115,000 square feet to the existing convention center, including 60,000 square foot exhibition hall. So by expanding this, it's just great for our local businesses, great for our local economy. It's going to expand 115,000 square feet, which is going to include the exhibit hall, additional meeting rooms, a new lobby. Notably, the project is partially funded through a sales tax initiative, which was originally approved by the state legislature over 20 years ago to build Seattle's Safefield Field, showcasing an innovative approach to financing, which is really cool to see, just a really creative way. Big fan of this. I think it's great. Local businesses are always great when we can expand our local resources that we already have and just add on to what we got going on. As well as we have some new development coming around the Tri-Cities. There's always work going on. Everywhere you drive, it seems like there's some building going up in some place. You have newly finished buildings that are now for lease, just kind of all over the place. And it's really cool. So, but this one specifically is around new housing, Costco, Panera, and Chick-fil-A locations. So, as many of the Tri-Cities will know, Chick-fil-A and Popeyes newer to the area. Chick-fil-A set to open here sometime this year, on 7009 West Canal Drive, and then Panera is going to be opening really close to it. Popeyes already operates in two locations here as well, one in Kennewick and then one on Road 68. But they're exploring opportunities to expand their presence in the Tri-Cities area, both Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, specifically near the upcoming Costco wholesale store at 3125 Queensgate Drive in Richland. According to Mandy Woolner, Richland's economic development director, both chains have reviewed potential sites in the vicinity, with the exact locations not yet confirmed. So it's really cool that more and more businesses are coming as we continue to expand our beautiful, beautiful area. The Queensgate area, where the new Costco is under development, has been attracting various businesses, including these popular chicken chains. Kennewick Irrigation Department owns several parcels in this area, which are under consideration for development. So just really cool. We don't know anything about the specifics of these locations near the new Costco. They're yet to be finalized, but their interest signifies the growing commercial appeal of the Queensgate area in Richland. This area is just so great. Big, big fan of this area as a whole. So that's all of our good news, some hero spotlight. Let's jump into the legal and policy update. So there was a Kennewick armed robbery suspect charge. So a 17-year-old attempted to rob a coffee shop and fired at a pregnant employee. Guys, can we get a grip on our kids? Like, our kids are kind of going out here, and not in a good way. It's really sad to see these stories that are happening to our kids. The 17-year-old, he was charged as an adult with for first-degree assault, first-degree robbery, and first-degree burglary, and illegal possession of a firearm. The charges stem from February 25th incident at Wake Up Call Coffee Shop on Carmichael Street in Kennewick, where the minor allegedly attempted to shoot a 5-month pregnant employee during a robbery. Employee defended herself by firing uh, a the employee defended herself by firing a shot, which missed, prompting the suspect to flee. The suspect is also linked to a February 15th robbery at the Pasco convenience store and has a history of criminal convictions over the past years. Guys, just love your kids, be present. Those two things can make a world of difference in their life. Be engaged with them, be present in their lives. Dads, especially, please, please, please be there for your kids, for your sons, especially. We also, as a state, this one's interesting. We rank among the least federally dependent states in Washington in the state, which means we rely on less federal funding than most states, which also proves that we don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem in this state. Our budget is out of control. Elected officials have just ran our budget into the negative, ranging from anywhere from 6.9 billion to 15.9 to like 16 billion. So it's a wide range there. The real numbers, I believe, are around the 6.9. So it's definitely a deficit that can be worked out of with proper spending. Let's see. Let's talk about some public safety here, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Nice, short, local recap of what's been going on around the Tri-Cities of this last week. Not a lot of headlines. So again, if you ever do have a story, if you ever do want to send something in, you can always nominate your local hero, share community events, and let us know what stories matter to you most by sending them to us over on X or Instagram at Evergreen RPT. That's Evergreen AVERGREENRPT into the public safety and health alert. So the Two Rivers Park restroom fire investigation. Maybe you knew about this, maybe you didn't. On the early hours of March 13th, a fire extensively damaged the cinder block restroom building at Two Rivers Park in Benton County. A Benton County Sheriff's deputy discovered the restroom fully engulfed in flames around 2:30 a.m. The fire originated outside the restroom facility and subsequently spread to the building. No individuals were reported inside at the time of the incident. This incident just highlights the vulnerability of our public facilities to unexpected events such as fires. It underscores the importance of regular maintenance, surveillance, and community vigilance in protecting shared spaces, the community cooperation with law enforcement to aid in determining the cause and preventing future incidents. Again, I don't love doing this, but I typically will connect a juvenile to these things that are just out doing things without any supervision and just getting in trouble, and trying to cause, damage because they think they're having fun or whatever the reason is. But it's not fun. It costs someone money somewhere along the way. And so, we definitely want to take that care of that. Let me see here. Of course, as I covered last week, there were 6 local restaurants that failed their food safety inspection. But there were 6 restaurants that failed. There's going to be restaurants that fail every week. It's never going to be perfect, but it does just give you a good reminder to pay attention to where the heck you're eating. Well, that's cool. There's a credit union that's going to build a $10 million business hub in Kennewick. Hapo is going to be building a 10 million complex to house its growing commercial and business banking lines in West Kennewick. The Hapo business complex will consist of 2 buildings totaling 31,000 square feet on vacant 9757 West Clearwater Avenue near Utah Street in Calvary Chapel. I know exactly where this is. Very interesting choice of location. This area isn't developed yet, but Vice President of Community Engagement for the Richland-based credit union said the business complex was necessitated by Hapo's pending acquisition of Community First Bank, expected to close on August 1st. 2.9 billion in assets will be absorbed. Work on this area will begin in June or July. So if you're looking at this place on a map, this is across from. So if you're going down Clearwater, you're gonna go past Kennewick Dental before you get to let me just show you guys. It'll be way easier. Right here you have Kennewick Dental, right? And then right here you have the auto shop. Right here is where they're planning on develop. Calvary Chapel Tri-City is right here, right about here. Then you have Three Rivers Therapy's little campus right here. Yeah, you have Calvary right here. That would put. So that's Calvary. Yeah, area where you're looking at right here. As you go down toward, you go out towards like Quake and everything, right up here. All these other businesses and things like that. These are the new buildings that they're building right here. Those are new for something. I'm not 100% sure what. Yeah, but then you have Three Rivers right here. Yeah, really cool. Really cool stuff. So this is where this is going to be. Really cool stuff. Work begins in June or July. That's a good spot. A good spot. Yeah. 110 employees will work in the initial 2 buildings, which will be served by a 128 parking lot with 2 driveways connecting to West Clearwater, according to planning documents. 2.3 billion in assets, and they're going to be just getting more. So really cool. Really cool. BECU is the first at 30 billion, followed by GISA, then STCU, and the next are Washington State Employees, Numerica, Whatcom, and Sound Credit Union. So Apple's just moving up more and more acquisitions and just more and more, coming up. So I'm just gonna skip over the 6 local things because I really actually did want to pull up because there was an incident that happened at Kennewick American Youth Baseball over the weekend, broke into the facilities. And it's really just bad because they went there to take stuff and they got away with it. And, accountability needs to be served. I want to pull this up, show it to you guys in case anyone knows anyone about this. Okay, here we go. We're going to pull this up. Nice and big here. Kennewick American is one little league that I've coached for many years. My kids have played in it. I absolutely love these fields. They're very well maintained and ran by the community. This is the video that I want to show you guys here. Yeah. So that's the video that we got right now. So if anyone has any details on this fan right here that was at the field, Sunday morning, Saturday night, early Sunday morning, please call the Kennewick Police Department. He siphoned diesel out of one of the things. He entered the fields twice, knowing he was going to steal, and it's just it's just not great. We don't need this in our local community, and it's not good for anyone or anything. But again, like I said, that is all the time we got today for the Evergreen Local Tri-Cities Edition. It's our second episode of the Evergreen Local, so please continue to look forward to these on Tuesdays to kind of start your week and to recap everything's going on. Maybe they'll go to Saturdays. I don't know yet exactly how I'm going to continue to work everything out with life and everything. But I do love hearing from you. I love hearing who you nominate for your local hero, share your community events, and let us know what stories matter most to you. Stay engaged and be part of the conversation. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Evergreen Local Tri-Cities Edition. Stay connected, stay engaged, and remember your voices shape our community. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay evergreen.